up. Easy Pay goes away at the end of the day, so if you see something you like, put it in your cart, check out. We're pre-planning for you so that when the holidays come along, you're like, everything's taken care of.
And brand new today, we're bringing you something very, very special from Jenny Lee.
Is that coming up?
It's the opportunity. Oh, we got to mix it up a little bit. I think it's got to be heated up.
Yes.
The opportunity to bring for the very first time ever. Cinnamon swirl bread pudding. You know them for their cinnamon swirl bread. It's been a customer favorite. In fact, Customer Choice Food Award winner for best bread here at QVC.
Yes.
Scott Baker is part of the family that's been baking for how many years now? Did I read that correctly in the email? Since the 1800s?
1875, so we're coming up on 150
But who's
years.
counting?
But who's
1875, but who's counting?
It's just a family tradition of since 1875.
Five
Today,
generations, right?
You're going to get 2 of these 20-ounce trays. Each of them comes with 2 of the icings for bread pudding.
Right.
$13.33 is the best dessert idea ever. M92158, it's brand new today. Okay, Scott, tell us a little bit about this bread pudding. I think a lot of people know about your bakery, but tell us about that as well.
Sure. So the swirl bread that we're known for, we hate to waste anything at home. So my wife would make this bread pudding with it. I'm like, this is better almost than the bread itself. And that's a lot of ways we tell people to use the bread. If it gets a little, a week old or whatever, go ahead and soak it in some milk and some eggs and brown sugar and more cinnamon and make a bread pudding out of it. But, we really wanted this to highlight our bread and not hide our bread. And so it's a special formula that just really features those cubes of our cinnamon swirl bread.
And that cinnamon swirl bread, back up for those of us who don't know, P.S. and by the way, the winner of Best Bread.
Thank you.
The cinnamon swirl bread has a super secret sauce, which is, what do you do differently than everybody else when they're making their loaves of bread?
Sure. So our bread, once it's cooled from the ovens, we bathe it in butter.
Bathed in butter.
Bathe it in butter and toss it in cinnamon sugar. So you're going to taste that butter in every bite.
So there are 2 different flavors. There's cinnamon, there's cinnamon raisin, or you can get obviously a combo where you get 1 cinnamon and 1 cinnamon raisin. So are you starting over here? Is that the cinnamon?
This is the cinnamon.
Okay.
My favorite. I like raisins, but I love going for that cinnamon. It's the traditional, the classic loaf. We created this whole line of products around the classic cinnamon swirl loaf. The cinnamon is really what makes it stand out. We searched the world to find the best cinnamon that we could. We bought the cinnamon from Vietnam and from the island of Kerinchite off of Indonesia.
It's an amazing flavor.
It's
warm and inviting, yet it still has the punch that you want from cinnamon.
You got it. Right.
It really is.
And these 2 cinnamons, the bark is shipped into the United States. It's actually ground here for us, so it's a better standard of quality.
And then we have cinnamon raisin. Is the only difference that the raisins are in it as well?
That is correct. Sorry.
He's eating his own.
It's my favorite way to eat it. My favorite way to eat it.
And warm it up a little bit with the lovely frosting that you have, or without. It's not too cloyingly sweet. The raisins, I think, are really lovely.
Right. And, we use our cinnamon raisin bread. What we do, we're baking breads now just to make bread pudding. And so we'll use the cinnamon raisin, but then we add another, I think it's a pound for every 5 pounds of the bread dough into that bread pudding.
So remember, you can get these immediately. You can get these on November 6th or December 4th. So if you're thinking about, again, desserts, sides, breakfasts, whatever you'd like, now's your chance to do it. Here's what I want you to know. You can get both of them in the cinnamon only, both of them in the cinnamon raisin, or you can get 1 of each. They come with the icing. The icing is delicious. I want you to tell us how they come and what I do with them. $13.33 and M92158.
So they come ambient.
Room temperature.
Room temperature. We developed this to ship ambient. It's going to arrive. You can't store it in your refrigerator. You can store it on your counter, but your refrigerator is going to last longer.
Okay.
It's going to hold that moisture in it a little bit longer as well. And so there's so many different ways you can dress it up. We send you some of this delicious, rich vanilla icing, but make a bourbon sauce. Use maple syrup or a jam. I love with the pomegranates on it. Put it in a dish and pretend, as you serve it at your holiday dinner, pretend like you made it yourself. Why not?
Look at this.
But you would be incrinculate to not share this with your family and friends.
Okay, we're last call November
right here in
6th.
the crock.
$13.33, M92158. If you want it, take a look at the screen. I mean, look, it's true, right? You go to a restaurant and they serve bread pudding, and you run to order it,
Right.
because nobody makes bread pudding except for your wife.
Right. She
And
makes
you guys,
everything.
but
Yeah.
nobody makes bread pudding at home, right? It's one of those things that you're like, oh, I just want somebody to make it for me. This is delicious. It's and it's the most cinnamony.
Yes. Yes. Very cinnamon.
Yeah, it's so cinnamony and rich. So, if you want a new flavor, something to try, today's your day to do it at the sale price. And remember, you do not get charged until it ships out. Now, that's the warm. So do you put it in the oven with this tray?
You got it, yeah. So,
Oh.
it's ready to eat when it arrives, but if you want to take it up a notch, heat it up. This is a microwave safe.
Microwave.
Oven safe as
Wow,
well, up
oven.
to 400 degrees.
Nice.
Wow.
But heat it up, put a scoop of ice cream on top of it. Now you're talking. You got a real dessert there.
So I just love the fact that you can eat it exactly the way it is.
Right.
You can bring it up, not one notch, but like 10 notches if you want. But here today, and by the way, no nuts, obviously.
That's correct.
There's
yeah.
no nuts or anything like
We
that.
are a peanut-free facility.
Oh,
We
that's
do have
key.
tree nuts,
Yeah.
but we've got a strong allergen program. There's no nuts coming close to this.
Yeah, and you know what? Everything they do is great. Sustainable ingredients, cage-free eggs, no real artificial anything, and kosher,
All
right?
natural. Yes, we're kosher and all natural.
So cinnamon, you can get 2 of them in cinnamon. You can get 2 of them in cinnamon raisin, or you can get the combo, 1 of each, $13.33 immediately. You can get it home on November 6th, or you can get it home on December 4th. Scott Baker.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Alberti.
Named
you.
appropriately
Yes.
for the profession that
I
he was
love it.
born
So
into.
nice to see you. Me too.
All right,
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
92158 is your item number. Find out why his brand is our best bread, customer favorite bread at QVC. All right, so listen, the